What's going on, guys? Christopher Lopez here with Jersey Beast TV, your source for men's muscle building, strength training, and fat loss information. So in this video, we're going to be covering how to do pull-ups with bands. Now, most guys think bands are only for guys who can't do pull-ups. That's not necessarily true. We're going to cover a few different ways you guys can use bands in your back workouts. So obviously, if you can't do pull-ups, using bands or an assisted pull-up machine is a good idea. Not every gym has an assisted pull-up machine, number one, because they're really expensive, and number two, because they take up a lot of room. So a lot of gyms like this, a lot of strength and conditioning gyms that have pull-up bars and no assisted pull-up machines will have bands for you to use. Before we dive into using the bands for pull-ups, let's just cover the pull-up in general. So when most guys do pull-ups, a couple things I see that's wrong. I got to use a stool because I'm really short. A couple of things I see that tends to be wrong on your pull-up. A lot of guys don't, number one, go all the way down on their pull-ups. They do 3/4 pull-ups. I'm going to do them this way. That's another thing. You guys can mix up your grips too. So you can go underhand, overhand, mixed grip. Okay, you can do like a baseball bat grip. One hand over, one hand under. Doesn't really matter. The grips do change the way the pull-up feels on your back, but you do them however you want. So I'm going to use a mixed grip, but a lot of guys don't do a full extension on their pull-up. You see a lot of them stop here and come back up. That's a problem. The reason being is because when you do your pull-up, you want your lats, the muscles that are underneath your armpits, to stretch, all right? Those are the first muscle group that should be involved in pulling yourself up to the bar. So what do I mean by that? So basically, when you do your pull-up, right, before you pull with your arms, you should pull with your lats. So you're pulling the lats back, and then you're following through with the arms. See that? The shoulders get pulled back by using your lats, and then you follow through with your arms. A lot of guys don't go all the way down because they're easier to just use your biceps and your arms to pull yourself up. That's the first mistake that I see with the pull-up. The second mistake is a lot of guys don't actually pull themselves close enough to the bar. You see a lot of guys do this. I don't know what that is, but you will see that in the gym. So you want to make sure that you're pulling yourself close to the bar, pulling with your lats first, following through with your arms. If you can't do regular pull-ups, this is where the band comes in. So what you want to do is find a band. I'm going to use a green one. I don't know what the resistance is on this, but it's pretty thick. Obviously, the thicker the band is, the more reps you're going to get, the easier it's going to be. Loop the band over the pull-up bar. You take the big end, you put it through the little end, and pull. So it's kind of snug against the bar. A couple different ways you can do this. The first is with the knee. All right. Make sure the knee is pointing towards the floor. Once that knee comes up, that band can slip and hit you in the face. And that probably won't feel too good. As funny as that would be, it would hurt. So the knee is pointed to the floor. Again, you start with your arms fully extended, and you pull yourself up to the bar. Real simple. The second way you can do it is with your foot. Now, when you put your foot in the band actually stretches even more, so you get a lot more help, because now there's more tension on the band, right? Before you drop down into your pull-up, take your free leg, I'm warning you once, take your free leg, cross it over the leg with the band, and this way, again, if your toe points up towards the ceiling, the band's not going to slip off your foot and slap you in the face. Or if your toe points too far to the floor, the band's not going to slip up, which might even be worse, and hook you right in the nuts, and that would be terrible. You don't want to do that. That's happened here. It's hilarious, but you do feel bad for the guy a little bit. All right, so make sure you take that free leg, you cross it over the band. This way it locks the band in place. It's not going anywhere. And now these are going to be a little easier because the band is stretched a little bit more. You should be able to get a few more reps using the band this way. Right? And if your pull-ups are sloppy, let's say you can do pull-ups, and they're really sloppy, you may want to get in the habit of using a band. It doesn't have to be really thick, but using a band to help assist you up to the bar to clean up your form a little bit. Pull with the lats, focus on squeezing the lats, following through with the arms. So now that we covered how to do the banded pull-up, the band-assisted pull-up, there's a couple things to keep in mind. If you can already do pull-ups, right, and you want to build a bigger, wider back, what I tend to see is doing pull-ups for max reps is not enough, right? So yeah, it's going to help you get stronger. You may increase the reps that you do, the more pull-ups you do. But you want to keep in mind, if you're looking to build a thicker, wider back, you got to do you have to do those forced reps at the end. So you can't just go to failure, because a pull-up is a pretty tough movement, right? It's really hard to get a few extra reps in. You either do clean reps or you don't, right? You either do a set of 10 and you fail at 10, and going for 11 is impossible. It's not like a bicep curl with dumbbells where you can kind of throw your hips in and get those final few reps, those cheat reps in. You can't really cheat with pull-ups. It's extremely tough to do. Unless you are one of those idiots that do kipping pull-ups. Don't get me started. We don't do them here. But your best bet is to do your set of pull-ups and then finish with a burnout set with the band. So you would do whatever your max or your sub-max set of pull-ups would be, you would do that, and then throw a band up on the bar and finish with a burnout set. It's almost like doing a drop set with a cable machine or dumbbells, right? You can't do a certain amount of weight anymore, so then you drop the weight and you finish, and you get that final burnout set, final squeeze in those targeted muscles. So again, don't think the band is just for guys who can't do pull-ups. It is a tool if you use it right, where you will get a few more reps, will add muscle fiber damage to your lats, and it will help you grow as long as you're eating enough and again you're sleeping. The other way you can use a band, it's just thinking outside the box a little bit, but the other way you can use the band for your pull-ups is to do your set of pull-ups. Let me lower this a little bit. You're going to do your set of pull-ups, and instead of doing a burnout set using the band, you're going to do banded pull-downs, okay? Pretty simple to do. So what you're going to do is use the band. You can use a handle. I'm going to be right back. Here at the gym, at my gym, I have a dowel rod. I cut it in half. I got it at Home Depot. I don't know, it's like an inch and a half. I don't know. It's a thick one, the thickest one they had. Cut it in half, and you do your set of pull-ups, and then basically then you do your pull-down. So you put the dowel through the band. Now obviously, you want to make sure that you're getting enough resistance. So with this, I tend to sit on the floor. See if I can lower this camera a little bit so I can show you guys. And if the band is not tough enough, whoops, you can double the bands up. You can use 2 or 3 bands to add resistance, you know, and do it that way. But you would just sit on the floor this way and pull the band down. And again, this is going to act like a burnout set. Squeezing the lats, you're still doing the pull-up movement or the pull-down movement, just as you would on a cable machine. This is a little too light. You may have to use 2 bands for this, depending on how high the anchor point is in your gym. But, you know, you got to think outside the box when it comes to pull-ups, okay? Number 1, you got to make sure you're doing them right. Full extension. Try and get your chin above the bar. I know a lot of guys with shoulder issues may not be able to do that. Do the best you can. And then use the band to get those final burnout final burnout reps in, that final burnout set, doing banded pull-ups or banded pull-downs, all right? Again, when you're training your lats, and with pull-ups, pull-downs, it's a little bit different. If you have a pull-down machine at your gym, you can change the weight stack, change the resistance, and do a drop set that way. If you don't have access to one of those, a pull-down machine or an assisted pull-up machine, you're going to have to deal with the bands and do them that way. But I guarantee you, if you start adding drop sets or burnout sets to your pull-up workouts or to your back workouts, your back will get wider, it will get thicker, it will grow. Pull-ups to failure, in my eyes, is not enough. So use the bands. You know, throw them in your workout somewhere. Don't think it's a downgrade, because it's not, especially if you could do pull-ups. Remember, those forced reps are going to help you grow and help you get stronger, okay? So do as many pull-ups as you can, and then use the band, obviously, for that burnout set. If you guys found value in this video, please like it, share it, comment down below with your questions. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. A lot of free training information up here for guys looking to get bigger and stronger. And you guys know me, I keep it as simple as possible. This stuff should not be complicated. And that's all I got. If you liked this video, you commented, you shared, and you subscribed, I have a free gift for you guys on the right side of the screen. My way of just saying thank you for watching my stuff, subscribing to the channel, and being awesome. Until the next video, guys, I'll see you in the gym.